Joining us right now is Dr. Subramanian Swamy, and sir, you've been watching the details that Prema's been able to break crores and crores of rupees against something that Robert Vadra has been able to get away with without paying off.
In the income tax area, yeah. Yes, of course. You see, this whole so-called Nehru family, which is now the residual, which you saw in Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka, Vadra, they are all unfit for getting any job in the country. They have no qualifications. There's no way they can get a decent job. So the way they meet their lifestyles requirement is by looting the country. So they've had the advantage of their grandfather and their great-grandfather being congressmen, and now they have captured the party, and they run it like a mafia runs an organization. And nobody can even challenge anybody in that party. And so how do you get the money that you want for living it up? And that is by looting the country. And that's what they're doing.
He's not been asked to pay up that kind of money. He's been asked to pay up around 25 crores or something that he'll have to pay back. Clearly, this comes in after years and years that he's been able to, like you're saying, enjoy the hospitality of the government then, and of course his family that has been in power as well.
Yes, of course. I mean, what is this? He's an illiterate. He's a goon. I mean, he's a thug. He can't. Can he give a speech? He can't give a speech because he has no learning. All he can do is perhaps read from a piece of paper. So this family is actually a shame on India, that this highly educated country, which produced rishis and munis centuries after centuries, and now have to put up at the helm of affairs people who are completely out of the gutter.
And this is not an allegation by any political party or anything. These are papers that have been reviewed by the Income Tax Department. Right. So, obviously, the first and the most obvious response when anybody from the Congress party is asked about Robert Vadra, they say that's political vendetta. Then they'll go on to say that he's a private citizen. Then they'll go on to say that they are attacking our family.
Yes, that's all. Because what else can they say? They can't say that this calculation is wrong, because it is not. You've seen them across the board. Why only Vadra? What about Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi on National Herald, and on which they are out on bail just now? They are looting the country. Has become the only way they can get decent money for their extravagant lifestyle.
So far, we haven't seen any strong action per se against Robert Vadra. Is there something that you think that your government will be able to do? Because, obviously, those are the questions that are being asked right now.
I think, frankly, the problem that we have suffered for the last 4 years is a complicit gang in our government and bureaucracy, which has ensured that honest officers are transferred out, or their promotions denied and demoralized, or expel them from the service. This kind of thing has been going on. But I must say, for the last 4-5 months,
I think, Prema, that's the question to us. What if he doesn't pay?
Has been taking special interest to see that no politician from the government, no minister, will interfere with any of the investigation.
The most important question then remains is that what if he turns around and says that I'm not going to pay, or I don't have the means to pay? What happens then?
Oh, then there's a criminal law available. They can take him into custody, attach his properties, and auction it and collect it.
Prema, if you have any further questions, then I can pass on the phone to Dr. Swamy. You can ask him directly, because since you know the entire detail, probably you'd be in a better state to ask him more questions as well.
Well, Dr. Swamy, this is...
Just give me a second, Prema. Just give me a second.
Swamy,
just a second. Just a second.
If you can just hand over the earphone. Yeah.
Prema, I'll take a couple of questions from you.
Yes, madam. Hello. Oh, this hasn't come yet.
Well, Dr. Swamy,
no connection.
This is not the first time that a case against Robert Vadra has come to the fore, Dr. Swamy. Earlier, Justice Dhingra had said that he had profited. Robert Vadra had made 50 crore rupees without spending a single penny. Then Arvind Kejriwal came to the fore in 2012 and he had said that Robert Vadra had purchased 31 properties in and around New Delhi from DLF through unsecured loans. And then there were several media reports also regarding these quid pro quo transactions between DLF and Vadra. Then we also saw what the CAG had said. The CAG had hit out at the Congress government saying that why are you treating Robert Vadra with kid gloves? Now the question here really is, Swamy, Dr. Swamy, that for the first time, there have been several reports against this, but for the first time, there is an order which says that now you have to pay up. You pay up or face action. Now, as you said, that if he does not pay up, then obviously there will be action against him. But is this just a simple case of tax evasion, Dr. Swamy? Because this report speaks about the fact that there have been several dubious transactions. It also speaks about there is a web of chain of transactions between various companies and it is a murky affair. So can this just be limited to 25 crore rupees? Is this just a civil case, Dr. Swamy?
No, it's not a civil case at all, because it's not something that he has earned money and then evaded taxes. That would be a civil offense. Here he not even earned the money. It is by fraud. You get a land, for example, which has encumbrances, that you can only build a hospital on it or a school on it. And then having got the land at rock bottom price because of these encumbrances, you then use your power in the government and get these encumbrances removed and make it a freehold. And then you sell it at 5 times, 10 times the price at which you bought it. That's the way that Vadra has been making the money. And in income tax, he has been under-reporting. That's a crime. It's not that he's reporting and claiming expenses which are not justifiable, therefore his tax can be low. He has just engaged in what is called as evasion of taxes. And evasion of taxes is a criminal offense. And therefore now,
Dr. Swamy,
yes, it's a fact
last
that our
question to
government
you,
slept
Dr. Swamy.
in the first 4 years. Yes,
Dr. Swamy, my last question to you, the fact that the papers basically speak about how Robert Vadra did not have money. His company had only 2 crore rupees in 2008, but still they went ahead and purchased a land worth 8 crore rupees. They don't know where this money came from. And it also speaks about this absurd transaction, Dr. Swamy, where Robert Vadra takes 5 crore rupees from DLF and then purchases a land and then sells the same land back to DLF and takes 58 crores from DLF. So this is an absurd transaction. So what should happen here ideally?
Yeah.
Now that you're saying that this is just not a civil case, then ideally what should be the way forward?
No. This is not a absurd case. It's a very, very smart, crooked case. JLF has finances purchase of land which is encumbered. As I told you, it is restricted to building hospitals and schools and things like that. And therefore, the land is given at a very cheap rate. But having got the land, then and on the money lent out by the DLF, he then gets Mr. Huda or somebody like that, if it's in Haryana, to change the land classification and remove these encumbrances and make it into a freehold. And then he sells it to DLF at market price, which the DLF then uses that land to build apartments and other things. So this is what is called as a fraud on the public, and therefore would come squarely within those criminal sections like breach of trust, breach of criminal misappropriation and so on. And it's a whole new ball game for him, and he'll go to jail for a long time.
Really beginning to build up fast.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Dr. Swamy, and thanks